One big thing about the ceiling is that all of the pieces are related to some part of the Old Testament, and it varies. So the first one is the creation of Adam. This is a very famous photo. A lot of you probably know it. And it's related to Genesis 1, verses 26 and 27. So it's located in the top middle of the ceiling, right there. And it is part of the creation of Adam and Eve series, or the Eden series is another name for it. The entire scene took less than 3 weeks to create. It pictures Genesis 1, verses 26 and 27, and Genesis 2, verse 7, because the creation of Adam comes up twice. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Michelangelo painted this scene in a way most artists of the time actually didn't. A lot of them would picture God sculpting Adam almost as like a sculpture of clay or dust. But in this, it just shows that they aren't actually meeting at their index fingers, but they're almost touching. So this is supposed to possibly represent how God, it shows his power, and how not necessarily like a physical strength, but a mental strength. All he has to do to create Adam is just the wave of a finger. So that's the biblical significance of that.
And he was actually very arrogant and dissatisfied with himself, so he was constantly bringing himself down, even though he was one of the best artists of all time. And he saw art originating from culture, and you can see that in his drawings. So I have 3 examples. So here's the Sistine Chapel ceiling, and you can see how it's perfect. All of the paintings, they all have the perspective I was talking about, how they all meet in the center, and they draw your eye to a singular piece. And here's an example, the Last Judgment, and you can see the perspective is being drawn right towards God in the picture. And you can also see the dark colors, which expresses mood at the time. Because of the Protestant Reformation, Michelangelo was going through a dark time in his life. And I was especially like enthralled by this, because I really like how her dress here, it just curves around like that. And he just makes the entire thing flow. And personally, because I've recently begun drawing, I would say around the summer, and it's like exceptionally hard as an artist to draw curves and like to make clothing appear so realistic and draw folds in them. It's very hard to do, and Michelangelo just does it perfectly, and everything in the picture is it's incredible. So this is my drawing of it, and the reason I drew it digitally is to show the difference between how far art has gone.